They don't make them like they used to. It's a phrase you've probably heard a time or two. It's unfortunately, it is the case here in the NFL offensive player stats from 1999 to 2013. More importantly, we're going to be talking about the Power 5 conference share when it comes to quarterbacks in the NFL. When I talk about the Power 5 share, I'm talking about the Power 5 conferences within Division I football. In 1999, the Power 5 share was 64% of quarterbacks that represented on an NFL roster. In 2013, that Power 5 share jumped up to 77%. So that's nearly 3 out of 4 or more than 3 out of 4 quarterbacks were represented from a Power 5 conference. And those Power 5 conferences can be the ACC, the SEC, the Big 10, the Big 12, and the Pac-12. So you've seen those big name football programs across the country. In the stark contrast also, you'll notice when I say they don't make them like they used to, you'll find that data in the age and height category. If you look at an average in 1999, the average age of a starting quarterback in the NFL was right at 29 years old. And the height, which is a good thing for a 6'2" guy like myself, was right at 6'2" or 74.4 inches. Now, if you look at the other data set in 2013, the average age is around 28 years of age for a starting quarterback in the NFL from a Power 5 conference. And also the height, it's kind of an interesting tidbit. The height actually went up to about 75.5 inches, which is a little over 6'3", almost 6'4" on average quarterback height. So what's kind of the stark contrast of different things noticing within this data set, going back to the theme of they don't make them like they used to. What you'll notice, the other thing that's not really seen in the data, but you can kind of pull it out from, the quarterbacks that were playing in 1999, surprisingly enough, there was a handful of quarterbacks that were still playing in 2013. Now, if you look at the same data set and you pull that 10 years from now, I doubt there will be the same amount of number of quarterbacks that will be playing in 2023. For 1999, this is just to jog your memory and also kind of pull back some memories. Some of these quarterbacks that you see on this 1999 data set is Kurt Warner, starting quarterback for the St. Louis Rams, Steve Burnell. And then you had Rich Gannon, Peyton Manning, Brad Johnson, Doug Flutie, Brett Favre, Drew Bledsoe, familiar name, Steve McNair, John Kitna, Mark Brunell, Jeff George, Brian Griese, Troy Aikman, Dallas Cowboys, Tim Couch, Jeff Garcia, Danny Werfel, Jim Harbaugh. How about them apples? And the list goes on and on. Another one, Dan Marino, Trent Dilfer, Donovan McNabb. Again, these guys, at least for me in 1989, really set a precedence for what a quarterback looks like going into the future. And correlating that to 2013, again, these guys who are coming out in 2013, some of these, again, common names you see on this list in 2013, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees. Going into others, and now the other commonly names that you may see on 2023, may not. Andrew Luck, not so much. He retired already. Phillip Rivers, Matthew Stafford, Russell Wilson, Tony Romo, retired. Nick Foles, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, Alex Smith. But the other interesting fact that majority of these quarterbacks that are in the 1999 and the 2013 data set is the majority of these quarterbacks in both data sets actually were drafted way past the first and second round. Most of them were drafted in between the third and sixth round. So take that for what it is. I mean, you got some of the greatest ones who were drafted, like Tom Brady in the late in the 6th round. He was Mr. Irrelevant, so go figure. But again, getting back to the data set, the Power 5 share rose from 1999 to 2013 from 64% of Power 5 schools that supplied the NFL with a starting quarterback to a drastic 77% in 2013. And you can also see the average age of a starting quarterback went down, while the height, actually these guys were getting taller going into the NFL. So in summary, what can this data, what kind of story can this data tell us? Well, if you're a youngster out there in high school, chances are if you want to go play in the NFL one day, I would highly recommend going to a Power 5 school, because you have a much, much higher likelihood of getting to the NFL and becoming a starting quarterback if you are playing at a Power 5 conference, Division I athletic program. Good luck.